Hello everyone, Konrad from CGLM.EU welcoming you warmly. Before we dive into the main topic, I strongly encourage you to subscribe, share, and give thumbs up on my YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram channels. Today, we'll talk about another hoist model. We have the EXE Rise device. It's a hoist with a lifting capacity of 1000 kilograms. It was manufactured in the year 2021. Let's start with the information on the nameplate. Firstly, the ED parameter is 40%, which means that the device can operate for 40% of the time in an hour or 24 minutes, and then it needs to rest. Its lifting speed is 4 meters per minute. The hoist weighs 43 kilograms, and additionally, a meter of chain weighs approximately 1 kilogram and 40 decagrams. Let's see what we have on the outside. Here we have handles. The handle is made of material very durable with solid screws, so it shouldn't cause you too many problems. Of course, over time, everything can wear out, and it will need to be replaced. But when it comes to new products, there are no such problems. Here we have plastic guide. This is a D8 Plus hoist, and its dust and water protection setting is 55. I wanted to show you the hook of this hoist. It is a construction that allows easy access to the interior. You can see the attachment and bearing of the hook itself. However, checking the first link is a bit more challenging because we have spring pins here that need to be knocked out. After removing them, the main pin slides out and we can take a look at the first link. Since your hoists usually work with the motor down, this hook always hangs in this way. And if it hangs in this way, water gets inside through the space between the hook mounting and its housing. You will soon see the consequences of this. Firstly, it cannot be disassembled. As you can see, the housing of this hook is nothing more than a water tank. Of course, there is a small hole through which this water can escape, but when we press some grease inside, this water will have a problem getting out. So it seems fine, but not entirely. Now, let's try to take a look inside. At first glance, we see water. It is, of course, described as IP55, so it should not be exposed to too harsh weather conditions. But we know how it looks in the industry. We work outdoors, it often rains, and as a result, everything gets wet. Everything will need to be disassembled, thoroughly dried, and cleaned. This is a D8 Plus hoist, so we have 2 brakes installed. The downside of the solution used by EXE is that both brakes close at the same time. This means that both brakes wear out evenly. As I mentioned in a previous video, when discussing the Chainmaster hoist, the main brake stops immediately, while the secondary has a slight delay. This way, the safety brake is always in perfect condition. However, here both brakes work at the same time. As you can see, the screws securing the hook are of considerable size, so we will use a wrench of substantial size. We have our hook mounting points. Since access is easy, it's very nice to check it during a visit to the maintenance technician. Regarding the second hook, we can see a lack of grease. We'll fix that. And it is also easy to replace if something happens. Now let's see what's going on with it from the other side. The construction is equally simple. We have practically no electronics here. The only thing here is the motor and a rectifier for both brakes. And that's all. On this side as well, water is visible. Even on the wires, I don't know, maybe it's invisible to you. Water is also on the cable. This means that along the cable, water gets inside. This is how the EXE Rise hoist looks. It is a very simple design that uses very few elements that can break. This is definitely a hoist worth considering, but everyone has to think about its size and resistance to weather conditions. And one more important thing. Because water gets inside, this often leads to a clutch malfunction. This malfunction consists of the clutch sticking together and ceasing to function. Unfortunately, in this case, the hoist will have to be disassembled. You will need to dismantle the motor to get inside. After attempting to clean it, the clutch may or may not work properly. If it doesn't work, unfortunately, it will be necessary to replace the clutch with a new one. There is, of course, a solution for this. Namely, from time to time, you should bring it to a situation where the clutch starts slipping. How to do it? We have a lock at the end of the chain, and there is nothing preventing us from occasionally reaching this lock all the way to the guide. When it touches, we then continue the downward movement for a short moment. Everyone has to decide for themselves what this means. It should be remembered that excessive slipping of the clutch will cause it to wear out excessively. This slippage will cause any deposits that appear on the clutch to be torn off. If we don't do this, sooner or later, more costly visits to the maintenance technician await us. Just like in this case, because all the hoists that came from this client require cleaning the clutch. So far, from these few pieces I've worked on, in one of them, the clutch still doesn't work correctly after cleaning, so it will need to be replaced. This is what the EXE Rise hoist looks like. It is an interesting design, apart from the fact that it is large. Everyone will be able to answer for themselves whether such a hoist is suitable for them. More materials will be coming soon. If you have any questions about hoists, or if you're looking for a technician, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to advise, chat, and of course, repair if needed. Please remember to subscribe, share, and give thumbs up on my channels on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Warm regards to everyone. Goodbye. English version was created using the script and ChatGPT.